Okay, so now for drawing the circles and ellipses in the 2-point perspective boxes. Again, you go from corner to corner, and the sharper your pencil is, the more accurate you're going to be. And now I'm going to be parallel and go through the center. And that gives me that top point there, top point there. And then to get the middle of there, I go from the vanishing point through the center point, and that tells me that's the midpoint of that side, midpoint of that side, midpoint of that side. It's going back in space. I'm not talking loud enough, sorry. Okay, so I drew from corner to corner, and then I had to go parallel to here and draw this line, and then I had to go from the center point to the vanishing point and draw that line so that it gives me the center point of this side, center point of this side, center point of this side, center point of that side. Okay, so the circle is going to be more normal shaped or wider on this side, tighter on this side. I'm also going to be more open on the bottom and closer on the top, because see how it's further away from the vanishing point here than it is up here. Okay, so it's easier for me to draw in this direction. You always want to try to pull away quickly from that center point. You don't want to drag your line along that edge because that'll be inaccurate. So swings out pretty open, comes barely touches there. Now I'm going to start from this side and something like this, and here again this side is going to come down. Well, it shouldn't be right at the edge. When I redraw that, I'll show it coming away, but it is going to come down more, I believe, to be that's not right. Come from this side. So something more like that. And that's how it'll work out for you. You're going to have to find it as you sketch it out. And I'm going to come back and try to commit to my line and darken what I see as being the trajectory of the circle as it recedes back in space. I'm just having a hard time continuing to talk loud enough. Okay, so that's that side. Now I'm going to do this side, putting an X through the box as accurately as possible. You don't have to watch all of this video, because if you know what you're doing already, just go ahead and do it. I'm going to keep this video going for those people who feel like they need more instruction. Again, from the center point to the vanishing point. And I have to go all the way because actually it should be lining up there, and that might be that it's not happening. because of this vanishing point being so fat. So you might want to keep your vanishing point smaller. But I think I'm just going to go with it like this and use these as my points. It's not quite that far off. I'm going to use this to try to make sure I'm parallel. And remember, we're doing fine art drawing, not architectural rendering, so everything doesn't have to be exact. We're doing these exercises to kind of get a sense of what happens with circles. Like when I look at this circle, I can tell there's something wrong up there. That doesn't quite look right. Probably it needs to be a little bit broader out there. And maybe not so broad there. Anyways, I could play with it more, but I'm going to move on to this one. So now this one is coming out over here. And maybe why I'm feeling so like the circle's not quite right, maybe because it's not quite a cube. Maybe one side is longer, maybe it's more of a rectangular shape. And not quite certain that's right either. But once I do more of it, I can look at it as a whole. And I think that it's close. It's just that the bigger part of it would be down here, I think. And so maybe some of this would get erased over here. And I think that if I were to draw this in, it would be something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to do the top one. And the top one, since I already have these midpoints, I think the easiest thing to do is just go from that midpoint to your vanishing point, and from that midpoint to your other vanishing point. That's my dog growling in the background. He knows he's not supposed to bark. You know you're not supposed to bark, Sarge. Stop. Okay. So now I have my midpoints. And I can. These are more difficult to draw because they're so flattened. So do the best you can. It's the process of doing it that you're learning from. So if you're not getting it right, erase it and keep trying. So here, this comes away, touches there. And I think I have my head over what I'm doing. Sorry. I wonder if that's happened more than once. All right. Anyways, that's what all three of these boxes will look like. I'm going to go ahead and end the video now, and I'll post a picture of what the finished part 2 2-point perspective should look like.